morning and welcome to Zen Fits. It's a beautiful day here in Blackstone, the center of the world, but then you too are at the center of the world. So I was just using an iPad here. It gives me a kind of a wide angle. So you can kind of like see I'm in the foyer of my house, and these are all my artifacts here, and I've been talking about them. Up there at the top that says Naughty Knots. That was the name of a houseboat we lived on in 1970 in Miami. But anyway, so our Zen Fit today is take the first step. And I've been kind of getting off on kitty litter here lately because we're house sitting 2 cats. So I got 2 sandboxes, and I've been searching for the perfect kitty litter. Because it stinks. You know, when you go to somebody's house, usually they have the kitty box in the bathroom, and it stinks in there. And it was kind of leaking out into the rest of the house, and so we couldn't get. So anyway, I finally got some First Step, which cost a little more than the cheaper stuff, but it clumps. And the next thing is you have to clean it out every day. But it clumps, so you can just pick it out. But that's genius for the First Step, because when it clumps, when you clean out the cat shit, it takes some of the litter with it. So you have to keep getting more. The older stuff, you just stir it up, you know. And when it gets really saturated, then you throw the whole thing out. But the First Step is that you have to just replenish it a little bit, but you don't have to keep renewing the whole box. Apparently that's how it works. But anyway, my Zen Fit is take the first step. Now, so, you know, I live a very, I'm retired, and I live in this great big Victorian house here in Blackstone, and this is kind of like my monastery. This is my world. When I say the center of the world, you are at the center of your world, but our house is the center of the world. Our home is the center of the world. And so we all are so glad to get home, glad to get back to the center. When we're away, we want to get back home. So home is a very powerful symbol and feeling. It's not just a word, it's a feeling. I feel at home. Oh, you make me feel at home. I want to get home. When do I get home? Home, you see. You can see stuff on your lip. So we want to get home. So this whole idea of lost paradise, Garden of Eden is home. Even religions have home. The idea of going back home or getting home in the future. So we're kind of like in this wasteland in between, with homes either in the past or home is in the future. You know, we want to get there. It's in time. But that's not Zen. Zen is you are home. You're already always home. This is it. Wherever you are, you're home. But we don't feel it. So because we don't feel we're at home, we have to project home. Well, this isn't like home. You know, I wish I was home. What is home? Home is the center. When you're at the center of the world, you feel home. Even if you're waiting for a bus, even if you're in Afghanistan, I don't care, wherever you are, if you find your center, you're at home. So center there is kind of like a portable. Our home is really a portable home. The problem is that we think home is located in space and time, like my home's in Blackstone. Your home is in wherever you are, you see. You may be at home right now, probably. You know, so we're all at some home, but it's located on the map, on the grid, you see. But the Zen home, the Buddhist home, and in my view, in the mystical Christianity, the Christ home is in the heart. So the center, you see, has to be discovered within. So you can feel within like you feel when you're in your physical home, when you get home from work. You see, so that feeling of, I'm home. I'm not judged here. There's no stress here, you see. I can be who I am here. I can be my true self here. I can take off my corset and I can take off my business suit. I can take off my persona. I can take off my role in the world. I can take off my shoes, you see. That's why in the yoga and the Eastern practices and many religious practices, leaving your shoes at the door. So when you go into the temple, you leave the world there. So our home is a temple in that way, you see, or it should be. But the point I want to make here is, how do you find home? So even though you're in a physical home, like this one here in Blackstone, 606 South Main Street, you see, even though I'm in this physical home, my practice is to find the interior home, the portable home in me. See, this is kind of like this thing here. This, fortunately, because I'm on the iPad, I can show you my iPhone. But if the internet is your home, right? So then, just imagine that if you had to go to get on the internet, which is the world, to get on the internet and enter this wonderful internet world, where you can find everything, all of the wisdom of mankind and all of the dirt of mankind is all there. Everything is there. What if you had to go downtown to a internet temple, and you would go in there to get on the internet, and you would feel at home, but you had to go to church, you see. You had to go there to get in the internet, but then, oh wait, well then you got a computer. Oh, so now you can have your home, your temple of the internet and the computer. But wait, what if you go for a walk? What if you go to the zoo? What if you go somewhere else? The computer's here in your house, you see. Oh, well then you get this. Now you've got home, your home on the internet in your pocket. You just tap it and it comes on, see? So this is kind of like a metaphor for our search for home, but this is electronic and it's dependent upon power. So if your battery runs out, or lightning hits your transmitter down the street and your power goes out in your house, you can't go home. You can't get on the internet, you see. Oh my God, I can't get on, you see. So this is dependent. So what we're looking for is a home that is not dependent upon conditions. A home that is not dependent upon location, a location, you see, or a particular device or anything. So wherever you go, you've got your home with you. It's kind of like a hermit crab. I used to love, they're such a metaphorical crab. Takes your home, you take your home with you, you see. So that's Zen, that's Buddhism, that's the practice. How do you find home within? I'm digressing here from my title, which is Take the First Step. Well, first of all, what I do in my home here is make what I find in my home working metaphors for finding the center within. So in order to find the center within, you need something to work with. So a practice, you see. So I turn my house, my everyday house, into practice, into metaphors. So when I'm washing the dishes, I'm washing the leftovers of my mind. When I'm vacuuming the floor, I'm vacuuming the pains and the negativities that I collect. I vacuum up. So now my new metaphor is kitty litter. So my first step, you see, in the morning now, is cleaning the litter box. Take out the clumps. And the box looks like a fresh sandbox, you see. You know, just like, you know, the kids could play in. Well, not really, but I mean, the idea is that, you know, you look at a sandbox is where kids play, and they make things. They make castles. You make worlds in the sandbox. But then when the mother calls for dinner, you leave it and go home. It's like a sand painting. A Navajo or Tibetan sand painting. Draw this beautiful mandala in sand, and then they erase it. What? They erase it. So that's kind of like the metaphor here of the kid. The first step, you see, is that you erase the sand, you erase the litter, you take out the clumps. Now, what is a clump in the mind but pain, regrets, grievances, remembrances, lost home, Home in the future, home in the past. Oh, I'm in the wasteland now. I've got no home. I'm homeless, you see. I'm wandering. I'm the wandering Jew. I'm homeless, kicked out of the Garden of Eden. I'm in exile. Where's my home? What's my service? Who am I? What am I supposed to do? Where's my home, you see? We're looking for home. We're looking in the wrong places. We're looking for it on the grid map of time, in the past or the future. But your home, your real home, you see, is interior, and that's you. So wherever you go, you are at home. Wherever you go, you are you. If you take the first step and clean out the litter box every day, clean out the mind. So you need to have a practice that cleans out the mind so you don't build up crap from all of yesterday's leftover actions and all of the pains and grievances of unfinished business, you see. Clump it, throw it out. Keep the sand of the mind fresh, like a child in a sandbox. So every day you can build your world, and at the end of the day, you go home to dinner. Have a scotch like I do. Thanks for dropping in. Have a Zen Fit today. Take the first step.